boys is going to meet me up there and play with me, old Roy and Ken.
Hey, folks, welcome to the Play Everyday podcast, where we talk about how to practice music and have fun along the way. We're kicking things off with a new series of student journeys, conversations with real fiddle students about their path, their challenges, and what keeps them inspired. Today's guest is Marg from Australia. I promise I'm not going to do any stupid Australian jokes like throw a shrimp on the Barbie or that's not a knife. Nothing like that's going to come out of my mouth. And so Marg has been, since she's joined the Fiddlehead community, she's been an active force, sharing videos, arranging fiddle tunes and recordings and backing tracks. And now she's running an online, within the Play Everyday community, she's running a session in which you work on harmony with, on an online jam session, which is super cool. So we'll maybe talk about that and find out what you're doing more with that in a minute. So anyway, I'm excited to hear your story, and maybe we could just jump in and you could tell me a little bit about your musical journey to this point, and in particular, what led you to start playing fiddle? Like, what kind of music were you doing before fiddle, or what were you interested in musically before fiddle? And then maybe we can get to the point to where you start playing fiddle.
Yeah, okay. Well, I've spent my life teaching classical guitar, and before that, I did a bit of folk when I was much younger. And I've been going to folk festivals for 25 to 30 years, and I would see people playing fiddles, guitars, mandolins in a circle, enjoying sharing music together, and I wanted to be part of that. Classical guitar wasn't going to fit into that at all. And so I took up the fiddle, and so I came to the fiddle and then the mandolin later in life. To get to Fiddlehead was actually during COVID lockdown, and I was doing workshops with a mandolin player called Andrew Collins in Canada, and he also plays some fiddle, and I was struggling with intonation and asked him about that, and he said, find drones, they'll change your life. And so then I looked up drones and eventually found Fiddlehead, and he was right. It changed my life.
Tell us what you did with drones and what that looks like for you and how that helped you.
Well, looking up drones eventually took me to the Fiddlehead site, and I did the trial and straight away knew that's what I was looking for. Had a few lessons with a folk fiddler and then a classical teacher, but really the Fiddlehead site was the one that combined what I needed, the structured progressive approach, but with fiddle music. I've done classical on guitar. I didn't really want to go down the classical route again with fiddle or violin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the drones really helped me with intonation, and just having that drone behind my practice, it's very centering, and also it sounds better. The fiddle sounds better with a drone.
Well, that sounds great. So let's get back to your journey. You discover drones, you kind of get into fiddling, but at that point you're already playing mandolin, right? And so what I want to hear about, you started with fiddle, then you went to mandolin, and then you kind of, I think that's what you said. How is that transition for you? How did that feel, and what was challenging about going from fiddle to mandolin?
Well, mandolin I found easier than fiddle.
Right?
I'm thinking back, which did I start with? Yeah, I bought the violin first. I did buy the violin first.
Yeah.
And I guess I tried for a while on and off to teach myself, and then the mandolin came in somewhere in there. Really, it wasn't until I was, really focused on Fiddlehead. And I guess COVID lockdown was helpful in that way. One of the few good things that came out of COVID was being able to every day do a new lesson on
Yeah.
Fiddlehead. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But the mandolin, I mean, it just fits with the fiddle so well because, as you know, it's the same fingering. It's easier because it has frets, so you're not having to intonate. It's just a pick, so there's not the bowing technique to learn as well. So yeah, it's just really easy. And of course, in a session, if I don't know a tune, I can just listen for the chords and switch over to strumming chords. So I tend
Yeah.
to do a bit of both.
That's really useful to be able to do that. And I think the two instruments are really can really feed off each other. And especially if you've
Yeah,
started on guitar, it seems like mandolin would be a good bridge instrument because it's strummed. It's kind of
exactly.
got a lot of chord thinking like guitar. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Different
And then,
tuning.
but I think that there's things about fiddle that could probably inform your mandolin playing. And plus,
Yeah.
like if you're been a fiddle player for a little while and you learn mandolin, then the knowledge kind of goes full circle with chords. Because then on mandolin you can do all those mandolin chords, and then you could just turn around and try to see how it all fits together with your
Mm,
major, say.
yeah.
But then a lot of like the double stop chords start to make sense. Like, oh, this is a G double stop. That's a G double stop. That's a G double stop.
Yeah, that's right.
Um, what was so you start to play fiddle. Is there a point where you kind of feel like hooked? Wow, I'm doing this. Do you remember any point like that?
I think I've started to feel a bit more like that. I worked through all the modules first, and then only this year I started working through the Irish journey or Irish pathways module. And I started to feel a bit more like a fiddler learning the articulation. And now I'm working through the Appalachian pathway. And that does feel a bit more like fiddling. I don't know that I'll ever get the American the feel. I guess, and coming from classical guitar, it's taken me a while to loosen up, but I'm really enjoying improvising and playing fill-ins in sessions, and it's been very good for me. It's been good for my guitar playing as well, I'd have to say.
What has it done for your guitar playing?
I think I'm a little less rigid with my playing. So, yeah, I'm more expressive, more relaxed about it.
Yeah. No, that's really cool to hear. I think that like fiddling could benefit a lot of classical players, or if you're gonna go into classical music, as long as you get the like position and the posture right, and you start with fiddling, it gives you a more modular, kind of flexible approach to music, a little bit more improvisational, but not totally, because you do have a tune you're still adhering to, but it's just a little looser than playing classical, and it tends to
Mhm.
be pretty fun for people, so yeah, it's good. I just think that, like, even if you've been doing classical your whole life, fiddling could help you with your musicality, help you just kind of approach things differently, and
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that's cool to hear.
yeah. And it's a very social instrument.
Right.
Playing fiddle is
And
very
so
social.
you've that kinda connects with something, yeah, and so you are really a social musician. You play with a band, and you've played with different groups and gone to festivals. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, with a guitar, you playing a lot of solo stuff and you're doing exams and a lot of working on your own. But we also do have ensembles. So, I've always, with students, fed them into ensembles so they are playing with other people. And so that sort of carried over into fiddle playing. And yes, so I've got several groups going at the moment, and one of them is it's a kind of blend of folk music. So we play traditional folk music from different countries around the world, but a lot of us have had some classical training as well. So it's all harmonized. So it's
Mm.
it's not like sessions where everybody plays the melody or the chords. We play in harmonies.
Wait,
And
what
we've got
instrument? Yeah,
fiddles.
go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. So we've got fiddles, flutes, tin whistles, guitars, cello, double bass, piano, accordion. Yeah, a whole mix. But it's a community group. It's whoever comes, whatever they bring, and there's usually 10 to 12 people each fortnight we get together. And so, we'll pick a genre, like at the moment we're doing South American and French music.
Amazing.
The time before we were doing American. This time we're doing Irish and Scottish. And we've got over 100 tunes in our library. So that's one of the groups. And then there's other groups that are more,
Wait,
smaller
can I
groups.
ask you about that group some? Do you have like arrangements that are already made for that group, and how does that work?
Yeah, some of them are already made and I collect them from various places, often from folk festivals, and some I'll write the harmonies. Uh,
And then what about the other bands you're doing? What are those and what are they like?
yeah. Well, one tonight is mainly American Celtic music, and that's just three of us now. So we have two of us play fiddle. The other fiddler also plays banjo. Another woman plays the flute and tin whistle, and I play fiddle or mandolin or guitar. We did have a guitarist who also played bass, but he's recently left the band. So we're rearranging our music now for three. So that's fun. We get together every couple of weeks. Classical guitar duet partner we play every week. Then there's sessions. Wednesdays. There's an Irish session in the music in the morning. Sorry, and at night bluegrass or folk. I do a lot of driving, Jason.
It's almost like a full-time musician, it sounds like. And you are
Yeah,
exactly the kind of person I'm interested in for with Play Every Day, because I think that you can have a great music career and not really be focused on the professional side, like that is money, but just
yeah,
on but there I have a whole bunch of people I want to bring on this podcast who are amazing musicians who've toured the world and done all these amazing things and played in all these bands and all these different styles, and they just love music and they've made it a part of their life. And so I'm really proud of you for doing all that. It's amazing. Do you find you practice a lot to keep up with all this, or are you able to just sort of be efficient and practice a little, and then doing the rehearsals keeps you in shape?
I do practice a lot, but I try to balance it with time with my husband because actually he has a bell in the kitchen, and when I'm out here practicing and he wants to go for a walk and a coffee, he'll ring the bell in the kitchen to say, "Okay, time to stop, Marg. Come and spend time with me."
I like that, Bell. I like that idea. I might use it for something else besides going for a walk, but I think I'm gonna have to buy myself a bell. Thinking about things you've learned as a musician, throughout your musical journey, is there just a simple thing that you can tell other people who want to play an instrument or are trying to play or have started but are struggling? What do you say to them?
I think just be patient and yeah, be happy to start at the beginning and just make it part of your life, just enjoy playing every day and watching it build and yeah, not to put a lot of pressure on yourself. It's a wonderful thing to be able to do, I just every day think how lucky I am.
Me too, and me three. Marg, that's amazing, and I agree 100%. I make a gratitude list every day, and I'm thankful for music, thankful for all the people I've
Yeah.
met and all different things, playing bands. But Fiddlehead has been amazing too. Met a lot of amazing people, and just lucky to have it and going. Well, anyway, it's been really, really sweet to finally like really talk to you for a bit and hear about what you're up to. And I look forward to seeing what you do with your own music and the things you're doing in Fiddlehead, like the harmony session you're leading. And I know that a lot of people are really enjoying that. And thank you for that, by the way. And so anyway, thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you soon, okay?
Okay, thanks very much, Jason. We're all very lucky to have you on our screen. Bye bye.